Before the rise of fancy gyms and protein shakes, there was a world where boxing legends were forged through sheer willpower, grit, and sweat. Imagine the training grounds that produced greats like Muhammad Ali, Joe Louis, and Rocky Marciano, men who didn't rely on air-conditioned facilities or personal trainers hovering nearby. Instead, they were shaped in dingy basements on gravel roads under the harsh light of dawn. The old boxing philosophy was simple and brutal. The more you bled in the gym, the less you bled in the ring. This is not just a saying, it was the bedrock of their training. These fighters didn't prepare for summer tournaments, they prepared for war. Each punch thrown, each drop of sweat, was a testament to their ability to endure and to overcome pain. Conditioning back then looked very different. Men didn't have the luxury of science-backed methods. They had suffering, a relentless pursuit of strength and resilience. Boxing was, and remains, more than a sport. It is a testament to human endurance. As we explore their brutal training methods, remember that these men faced unimaginable challenges, whose names still echo throughout the annals of history. Champions forged not just in the ring, but in the fires of relentless preparation and sacrifice. Training philosophy of old-school boxers. The training philosophy of old-school boxers centered around relentless, unyielding preparation, where the emphasis was on toughness and endurance rather than comfort or modern science. Champions like Muhammad Ali and Rocky Marciano knew that the ring demanded not just technique, but also an iron will forged through hardship. Their training regimens included grueling workouts designed to push their limits. Boxers immersed themselves in punishing road work, often rising before dawn to run several miles, sometimes uphill, while wearing heavy boots or ankle weights. This was more than physical conditioning. It was a mental game. Each step on the pavement was a test, teaching them to embrace pain as a part of their journey. Training was often finished with intense sparring sessions, where sparring partners weren't chosen for ease, but for their ability to challenge and push each fighter to the brink. It was about building a fighter's heart, allowing them to withstand any opponents. Fury, old-school boxers adhered to the philosophy that what doesn't kill you makes you stronger. They believed every drop of sweat in the gym meant one less in the ring. This approach created warriors who thrived under pressure, ensuring that when they faced their opponents, they demonstrated not only skill but a spirit of resilience. An old-school fighter's mentality was rooted in the idea that greatness is a byproduct of suffering, and those who are willing to endure the most become legends. Their legacy lives on in the athletes of today, reminding us that while techniques may evolve, the core philosophy of relentless training remains timeless. Road work, the lost art. Every old-school fighter started their day before sunrise with rigorous road work, a tradition that has unfortunately faded in modern training. This lost art wasn't just about running. It was a rite of passage, an essential part of building not only physical endurance, but also mental toughness. Fighters like Rocky Marciano and Joe Louis would lace up heavy boots, head out into the cold, and run miles on hilly terrain, often battling harsh weather conditions. They embraced the challenge, understanding that each mile ran was one more than their opponents might be willing to take. Early morning runs became a sacred ritual, instilling discipline and resilience. Old-school fighters believed that true conditioning came from pushing beyond comfort. Many didn't just jog at a steady pace. They integrated sprints, steep climbs, and even added weights to build unmatched stamina. It was about transforming exhaustion into strength, turning every bead of sweat into a testament to their dedication. This was the grind that prepared them for the grueling rounds in the ring, where stamina could mean the difference between victory and defeat. Pushing through the fatigue, they ran as a meditation, finding clarity in physical struggle. This approach fostered a unique bond between the fighter and the road, a connection to their craft that's hard to replicate in today's fast-paced, technology-driven training environments. As gyms today often focus on explosive workouts and controlled environments, the true essence of road work remains a critical lesson, an enduring reminder that greatness often comes with hard-won effort and the willingness to endure discomfort. We must ask ourselves, in our modern approach to training, have we overlooked the importance of the road beneath our feet? Toughening the body for battle. To prepare for battle, old-school boxers employed a variety of brutal and effective training techniques, designed to toughen their bodies to withstand the ferocity of a fight. This preparation was not just about building muscle. It involved a holistic approach to conditioning, which emphasized resilience and endurance. One of the most notorious methods was impact training. Boxers would stand still while their trainers hurl medicine balls into their stomachs, or they would even take real punches to their ribs. This extreme conditioning was necessary to develop the core strength needed to absorb body shots without flinching. Another innovative technique was using heavy bags. Fighters didn't merely punch the bags. They allowed them to swing back and slam against their torsos. This simulation of real fight conditions trained their ability to absorb impact. On top of that, wood chopping became a staple. It not only built muscle, but strengthened the oblique muscles, crucial for generating powerful punches and enduring body shots. Legends like George Foreman and Rocky Marciano swore by this method, attributing their power and durability to this toughening process. Additionally, many fighters relied on a concept known as the body punch, which helped to acclimatize their midsection to physical hits. Adding weights during training runs also intensified their resilience. Boxers often trained in heavy boots, running through difficult terrains. This further enhanced their stamina. All these grueling methods were focused on one goal: creating a champion capable of enduring punishment in the ring. Ultimately, the legacy of this rigorous training lives on, as today's fighters often still seek ways to toughen their bodies for the relentless demands of boxing. Neck training, the overlooked key. In the world of boxing, neck training is often the most overlooked aspect of conditioning. Many athletes focus on their biceps and chest, yet a strong neck is crucial for absorbing punches. Fighters like Floyd Patterson recognized the value of neck strength, dedicating 30 minutes a day to neck bridges, which supported their entire body weight. This practice not only built their physical resilience, but also fortified their mental toughness. Mike Tyson took it a step further, doing up to 500 neck bridges daily, resulting in a neck muscle thickness of 20 inches. This relentless training enabled him to absorb massive shots without going down, demonstrating the significance of a well-conditioned neck in maintaining balance and stability. Boxers understood that every punch could be a potential knockout, especially those they didn't see coming. A strong neck helps reduce the risk of whiplash, allowing fighters to remain conscious and recover in the heat of battle. Neglecting neck training can lead to vulnerabilities and unexpected outcomes in the ring, making it essential to incorporate this discipline into any fighter's regimen. Old-school methods of neck strengthening, often forgotten today, emphasize the importance of endurance and overall body control. It's not just about looking good in the gym. It's about preparing for the harsh realities of boxing. As techniques evolve and training regimens advance, the fundamental truth remains that a fortified neck can give boxers an edge in the ring. Ultimately, prioritizing neck training is not just an option, but a necessity for serious contenders looking to secure their legacy. Sparring, the ultimate test. Unlike today's controlled sparring, legends face sparring sessions as intensely as real fights. Partners were chosen not to mimic styles, but to bring relentless pressure. Muhammad Ali sparred round after round with fresh opponents, building endurance and mental toughness. This grueling approach to sparring was part of their preparation, giving them the ability to endure anything the ring could throw at them. Rocky Marciano, known for his unmatched power, reportedly knocked out over 30 sparring partners throughout his career. Not because he was mean, but because he didn't know any other way to train than to go all out. This method, while potentially dangerous, forged warriors who were mentally prepared for anything they might face on fight night. They didn't just train to win. They conditioned themselves to thrive under pressure, experiencing the worst of what the sport could offer long before stepping into the bright lights of competition. Sparring days were treated like fight days. Real fights were the only way to gain the experience they needed. It wasn't just about throwing punches. It was about learning to absorb them too. The training was brutal, It pushed every fighter's limits, but it had its purpose. By the time they faced an actual opponent, they had already conquered countless battles in the gym. Each bout in the ring felt like another day at the office, as they had already faced the demons of doubt and pain in their preparation. This philosophy was a rite of passage that separated legends from the rest. It was a crucible that toughened not just the body but also the mind. Recovery, toughness over technology. In the evolution of boxing, recovery has drastically changed, but the ethos of toughness remains relevant. Modern athletes have access to advanced recovery methods such as cryotherapy chambers, compression boots, electrical stimulation, and various gadgets. But old-school fighters relied on their own resilience. They viewed discomfort as a necessary companion, a badge of honor earned through sweat and determination. Between intense workouts, fighters often took ice baths, not for just a few minutes, but until they could barely feel their legs. This was their way of building mental endurance, understanding that toughness doesn't come from technology, but from pushing through pain. Massages were essential, yet they weren't the soothing kind. Old-school trainers used their hands to break down scar tissue, forcing blood to nourish weary muscles. Sleep was revered, with legends like Joe Louis demanding 8 to 10 hours a night, recognizing that the body rebuilds itself during rest. The philosophy behind recovery differed vastly. While today's methods focus on eradicating soreness, old-school boxers embraced it, seeing it as part of the journey. The old ways weren't always safe, but they crafted warriors who could withstand anything thrown at them in the ring. As modern fighters train in cushioned shoes and climate-controlled gyms, they often forget the essence of mental toughness. The greatest lessons lie in those who endured relentless training without modern conveniences, using sheer will and grit to forge champions. The toughness of old-school recovery remains an invaluable lesson for the future. Greatness is not merely about technological advancements, but about embracing challenges, enduring discomfort, and building an unbreakable spirit. Mental conditioning, the ultimate weapon. Mental conditioning is the unsung hero of boxing, often overshadowed by physical training and nutrition. Yet, it's this very mental toughness that separates champions from the rest. Every fighter faces moments where exhaustion and doubt threaten to take over. But those who have mastered mental conditioning push through, finding reserves of strength they didn't even know they possessed. The legendary trainer, Angelo Dundee, famously said, "The fight is won or lost far away from witnesses, behind the lines in the gym and out there on the road." It's in these solitary moments, during grueling training sessions, where mental fortitude is truly forged. Preparing to endure pain and discomfort turns these moments into crucial building blocks, allowing fighters to confront adversities that await in the ring. Mental conditioning isn't merely about resisting fatigue. It's also about embracing a mindset that prioritizes resilience and discipline. Fighters like Muhammad Ali exemplified this belief, training relentlessly even when the odds were stacked against them. When faced with adversity, they tapped into their deeply rooted mental strength. This allows them to stay focused and poised amidst chaos. The path to greatness isn't just physical. It's a rigorous mental journey that culminates in an unwavering spirit to fight through barriers, both seen and unseen. This level of mental conditioning requires commitment that goes beyond just routine. It's about establishing a psychological edge that could dictate the outcome of a match. In boxing, nerves and doubt can be crippling, but a fortified mind transforms potential weaknesses into strengths, culminating in a champion's performance. Ultimately, mental conditioning is not just an accessory. It's the ultimate weapon that equips fighters to navigate the brutal realities of boxing. The lost soul of boxing. In the modern age of boxing, the focus has shifted dramatically away from the raw, gritty methods that once defined the sport. Fighters of the past, who carved their legacy through sweat and sacrifice, often trained in unforgiving conditions that tested their limits. The lost soul of boxing isn't merely about the physicality of the sport. It's deeply rooted in a philosophy that celebrated suffering as a pathway to greatness. Champions like Muhammad Ali and Joe Louis trained relentlessly, eschewing the luxuries of today's plush gyms, instead embracing the brutal realities of road work and rigorous sparring. Each drop of sweat was a testament to their dedication, and each bruise a badge of honor, showcasing their resilience. However, as technology advances, there's a growing concern that the essence of boxing, the character-building toughness forged in pain, is fading away. Modern athletes benefit from scientific advancements, recovery technologies, and nutrition that enhance performance, but perhaps at the cost of the mental fortitude that comes from enduring hardship. The real battles used to be fought not just in the ring, but in the gym, during grueling workouts that pushed every fighter to their breaking point. This mental conditioning allowed them to face not just their opponents, but their own limitations. Today, while safer methods prevail, one must ponder whether the heart of boxing still beats with the same intensity, or if it has become only a sport of skill, stripped of its raw, unyielding spirit. The challenge remains to find a balance between modern advancements and the unyielding spirit of old-school toughness. In today's world, it's essential to remember the lessons of the past. The training methods of old-school boxers, with their raw grit and dedication, serve as a powerful reminder of what it means to pursue greatness. Though modern techniques and technology provide advantages, they cannot replace the essence of pushing beyond one's limits, to make friends with suffering, and to understand that true strength comes from within. These warriors built their bodies to endure hardship, to withstand pain, to rise up when the going got tough. As we navigate our own journeys, whether in fitness or in life, we should draw inspiration from their relentless spirit. We should embrace challenges, welcome discomfort, and strive for improvement, knowing that greatness isn't handed out, it's earned. Each drop of sweat, every aching muscle, and all those moments of doubt are part of the process. They mold character, instill resilience, and foster a mindset that can tackle any hardship. Ultimately, the path to success is often paved with struggle, and understanding this can transform how we approach our goals. So, when faced with obstacles, remember the old-school mentality. Embrace the grind, learn from each setback, and keep pushing forward. The journey may not always be easy, but the reward is worth the effort. Greatness lies ahead for those willing to work for it, to sacrifice comfort, and to pursue their dreams with unwavering determination.